Well, thanks for joining me this afternoon at WITN First Alert Desk with news and your news and weather update. And first, we start off with some news out of Onslow County, who says they fired their city manager last night for cause. So David Smitherman won't be eligible for any of his lucrative severance package. This, as Smitherman says, he was fired over an impasse that he felt violated professional ethical standards. In a unanimous vote last night, Onslow County Commissioners voted to fire the county manager. Smitherman has been manager for just over 2 years, and before that was interim manager for 4 months. In a statement sent to WITN late this morning, Smitherman said it was an honor to serve as county manager, and the employees were among the most professional and competent public servants he's worked with. But the former county manager said commissioners were unwilling to find a solution to a recent impasse. Smitherman said the International City and County Management Association's Code of Ethics would have been violated, quote, if I had performed as a group of commissioners insisted, end quote. He said he wasn't able to speak to the full board about the request, and it wasn't the first time he was challenged to breach ethical practice. In the statement, Smitherman did not provide any details about the nature of the impasse, but he did go on to say that for the overwhelming majority of his tenure, he had an excellent working relationship with commissioners, saying, quote, the organization is capable of achieving great things for its citizens, but must be provided the opportunity to perform. Citizens should demand better from elected officials at every level of American government, end quote. His 4-year contract gave Smitherman an annual salary of $310,280.44. It said if he got forced out, the county would have to pay him until the end of 2028. That amounts to more than $900,000. But this afternoon, the county said Smitherman won't be eligible for any severance because he wasn't willing to perform his duties. Now, before coming to Onslow County, Smitherman served as county administrator in Pittsylvania County, Virginia. He was fired from that job in 2022. Deputy County Manager Stephen Eaton is now the interim county manager, according to a news release. He began working in Onslow County last month, and before that was assistant county manager in Gaston County. And now we're going to go ahead and move over to Jacksonville, who has a new assistant municipal manager of the year. So Ron Massey has been named as the 2025 Assistant Municipal Manager of the Year. The North Carolina City and Council Management Association presented the honor to Deputy City Manager Ron Massey. The NCCCMA, an organization dedicated to city and county leadership roles, created the annual award to recognize outstanding assistant managers. Massey retired as a colonel following a 30-year career in the Army and has served as Jacksonville's Deputy City Manager for 18 years. It is no surprise to us, Mr. Massey has been honored with this award, said City Manager Joshua Ray, adding, quote, his talent is a unique blend of leadership skills and management improvement. Mr. Massey's leadership over the last 18 years has strengthened our partnership with Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune and New River Air Station, end quote. And now we have Charlie Ironmonger joining us with the weather.
Got a little weather for you guys. Yeah, we're looking at warming conditions right now. We've, again, seen a lot of change over the past several hours. We woke up earlier this morning to fog throughout eastern North Carolina. Visibilities were down below a mile for the majority of our reporting stations, and that leads to slowdowns on the roadways.
Right.
We could potentially see that again tonight into tomorrow morning. So for those of you who may be wondering, okay, are we going to have to worry about this again coming up tomorrow morning? The answer is possibly yes. We've seen humidity come up due to the southwesterly winds that are present, and tomorrow, I think more importantly, it's going to be a very windy day, and that's what I think is going to spell doom for the fog. It's not going to be lasting as long if it forms at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see what we've got outside right now across eastern North Carolina, and yeah, right now 62 degrees along the Neuse River. Beautiful sunny skies. Southerly winds at 10 miles an hour. Overall, it is feeling pretty comfortable out there. Feels like spring is right around the corner. Which, if you go by the meteorological calendar, It is.
I love that.
March 1st, March 1st. We've got spring starting according to meteorologists and your general weather pattern. Right now in Morehead City, though, still kind of feels a little bit cooler. We've noticed that along the coast that air temperatures really haven't responded quite as dramatically to the southwesterly winds as inland areas have. Right now down in the low 50s. But again, seeing more and more areas in the upper 50s to low 60s. In fact, at the mid 60s in Kenansville and Jacksonville right now, both coming in at 64 degrees. We've got 63 in Kinston, 59 in Greenville, as well as Rocky Mount, 58 in Edenton, 57 in Williamston. But along the coast, still looking at the upper 40s. 47 degrees in Manio, 48 in Hatteras, and again 51 degrees in Beaufort around the Morehead City area. Now, current winds are blowing in at about 5 to 10 miles an hour and 6 to 12 miles an hour. Pretty normal for this time of year. Now, wind direction obviously has a big impact on your temperature trends. More of a southerly to southwesterly wind means we tend to heat up a little bit more. And as we again make our way through the next several hours, we'll actually start to cool down as we have reached our peak heat of the day. Now cloud cover is set to roll in overnight tonight. But I do want to highlight the fact that winds tomorrow are going to be strong. And with that, it again should limit the fog potential early on in the morning. If we do end up maybe seeing some lighter winds out there, maybe 4 to 8 mile per hour breeze, fog will be a possibility. But if we start out with 6 to 12 mile per hour breeze, then we are really looking at limited, well, most likely non-existent fog. And winds, as you can see, are only going to get stronger through the day. Anticipate a 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained wind tomorrow afternoon. And with the cloud cover, we are still looking at air temperatures reaching into the low 70s, which I know doesn't always kind of gel with what you anticipate. Usually it's like, okay, the sunny days are going to be the warm days.
Right.
Not the case tomorrow. It is going to be mostly cloudy, but take a look at some of these wind speeds. Starting out your day at around 6 to 12 mile per hour winds. That's normal for the afternoon when we reach our peak heat of the day and winds are the most active. Winds tend to be most active around, again, peak heat, so around the early afternoon. So here we go, noon. Looking at 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds throughout eastern North Carolina. We advance it a little bit further, and we maintain those strong winds. Now, by the time we get to around 3, 4 p.m., we will start to see these winds relax slightly, but even by 5 o'clock, we're still faced with wind speeds between around 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts during the day tomorrow, 30 to 35 miles an hour. It will be a windy day, and I want you to all know that before, again, you start making any plans. Here's a look at what sky conditions are going to look like, along with air temperatures. By 11 tonight, again, low 50s, cloud cover building over the east, but tomorrow, calling it a mostly cloudy day. There will be breaks in the clouds. You will be able at times to kind of catch some sun rays. But it's not going to be one where you're going to say, all right, we got 70s, going to go out and catch some sunshine. You're going to have a tough time doing it.
Okay.
The 70s are going to be brought in by the winds, not by the sun. So again, as we make our way through the afternoon, winds are going to be breezy, highs in the low 70s, and then rain showers start to show up in the forecast. These are the first of the drops that will extend all the way from Thursday to Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, with more substantial rain expected on Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front rolls through. Again, notice your air temperature drop. 76 degrees on Friday, drops all the way down to 46 degrees on Monday. We are going to go from feeling like spring is here later on this week to, oh my goodness, we're back in wintertime by the time we wake up for Monday and Tuesday of next week.
So we got to soak all those rays in, that warm weather in.
Exactly.
I know I will. So
yes, yeah, try and absorb it as much as you can. We will have more warm days coming up over the
Amazing.
next several weeks, but again, this weekend is going to be that transition between spring-like conditions to winter-like conditions.
Amazing. Well, I'm looking forward to the spring conditions. So
Yes.
thank you, Charlie, and thank you for joining us today at the WITN First Alert Desk. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.